Most people think you need a massive farm, acres and acres of land, before you can even think about raising animals for food. And that belief is keeping thousands of families completely dependent on grocery stores, rising food prices, and a supply chain that, as we all learned not too long ago, can break down without warning. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. Half an acre. That's it. Less than the size of a standard suburban lot in many areas. And on that half acre, you can raise enough animals to produce fresh eggs, meat, dairy, and even natural pest control year-round. You could cut your grocery bill by $400 to $600 a month, maybe more, and build a level of food security that most people only dream about. The problem is, nobody teaches you which animals actually make sense for a small space. You go online, you watch a few videos, and suddenly someone's telling you to get a cow. A cow on half an acre. And then you wonder why this whole homesteading thing feels impossible. Today, I'm going to cut through all of that noise. I've researched, tested, and compiled the 7 best animals you can raise on a half-acre property. Animals that are manageable, productive, and genuinely life-changing when you combine them the right way. And I'm going to share the one combination most small homesteaders never think about that turns a tiny piece of land into a nearly closed-loop food system. Stick with me until number 4, because that one surprises almost everyone, and it might be the most productive animal per square foot of any on this list. Let's get into it. Number 1. Chickens. I know, you've heard it before, but there's a reason every experienced homesteader starts here, and it's not just because chickens are easy. It's because chickens do about 5 different jobs at once, and most people only use them for one. Yes, a small flock of 6 to 8 hens will give you 4 to 6 eggs a day. That's enough eggs for a family of 4 with extras to spare or sell. At current grocery store prices, that's easily $60 to $80 a month in savings just from eggs alone. But here's where most people get it wrong. They keep their chickens in one fixed spot, and they miss out on probably the biggest benefit these birds offer. Chickens are incredible foragers. They eat insects, they scratch and till the soil, and their manure is some of the richest natural fertilizer you can get. If you rotate them through your garden beds in the off-season, they do the work of tilling, pest control, and fertilizing all at once without you lifting a finger. A basic chicken tractor setup, that's just a movable coop with no floor, costs about $100 to $200 to build, and it lets you rotate your birds across your property systematically. Your soil improves, your pest population drops, and your chickens are healthier because they're eating a more varied diet. 6 to 8 chickens need roughly 20 to 30 square feet of coop space and access to a small run, completely manageable on half an acre. Number 2. Rabbits. This is where people start to get uncomfortable, and I understand that, but let me give you the facts, and then you can decide. Rabbits are the most efficient meat-producing animal you can raise on a small homestead. A single doe, that's a female rabbit, can produce up to 40 pounds of meat per year. She needs almost no space. A hutch, roughly 3 feet by 2 feet, is sufficient. She eats grass, hay, kitchen scraps, and garden trimmings. She requires almost no veterinary care, and she breeds quickly, which means your production can scale fast if you want it to. Here's the number that really puts it in perspective. Rabbits have a feed-to-meat conversion ratio of about 3 to 1. That means for every 3 pounds of feed, you get 1 pound of meat. Compare that to beef cattle, which are closer to 7 or 8 to 1. Rabbits are almost twice as efficient. And this is the part nobody tells you. Rabbit manure is one of the only animal manures you can apply directly to your garden without composting first. It won't burn your plants, it's loaded with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. 2 or 3 rabbits can produce enough fertilizer to feed a substantial kitchen garden all year long. On half an acre, you could easily manage 4 to 6 rabbits with almost no infrastructure cost and produce a meaningful portion of your family's protein needs. Number 3. Ducks. A lot of new homesteaders overlook ducks because they think they need a pond. You don't. A small kiddie pool, we're talking $15 at a discount store, is more than enough to keep ducks happy and healthy. So why ducks? A few reasons. First, duck eggs. Duck eggs are larger than chicken eggs, richer in flavor, and they have a longer shelf life. Bakers love them because the higher fat content makes baked goods noticeably better.
And ducks are often more consistent layers than chickens. Many breeds will lay through the winter when your hens have slowed down completely. 6 to 8 ducks on half an acre is very workable. You get reliable eggs, excellent pest control, and another source of rich manure for your compost.
Now we're at number 4, and this is the one that surprises people every single time. Quail. Before you click away, hear me out. Coturnix quail are arguably the most productive animal per square foot on this entire list, and almost no one talks about them in the context of serious homesteading. Here's why they're remarkable. A single quail hen starts laying eggs at around 6 to 8 weeks old. Chickens take 5 to 6 months. One quail hen lays roughly 300 eggs per year, almost one a day. The eggs are small, about a third the size of a chicken egg, but 3 quail eggs equal 1 chicken egg nutritionally. Now here's the math that changes everything. You can keep 12 to 15 quail in the same space as 2 chickens. In a small hutch or cage setup, roughly 6 square feet, you can have a flock that produces 10 to 12 eggs a day. That's the output of 2 or 3 dozen chickens in the footprint of a dog crate. I made the mistake early on of dismissing quail as a novelty. Then I did the math. The feed cost per egg is lower than any other poultry. The setup cost is minimal, and quail are quiet, dramatically quieter than chickens, which matters if you're in a suburban area with neighbors nearby. Quail meat is also considered a delicacy. A single bird dresses out at around 6 ounces, perfect for a single serving. If you're raising them for meat as well as eggs, your turnaround from hatch to harvest is about 8 weeks. On half an acre, a small quail operation alongside your chickens and ducks gives you an extraordinary volume of eggs with almost no additional land use. Now we're at number 5, and this one ties everything together. Bees. A single beehive on your half-acre property transforms everything around it. And I'm not just talking about honey, though that's real and valuable. A healthy hive can produce 40 to 60 pounds of honey per year, worth several $100s at current market prices. What bees do for the rest of your homestead is the real story. Pollination from even one hive can increase your fruit and vegetable yields by 30% or more. Your garden produces more. Your fruit trees set more fruit. The efficiency of your entire growing system goes up. Here's the part nobody tells you. Beekeeping has a steep learning curve in year 1, but by year 2, most beekeepers describe it as a low-maintenance, high-reward practice. The initial investment, a hive, protective equipment, a basic toolkit, runs about $300 to $500. After that, your main input is time and attention. And beeswax. Don't overlook beeswax. It's used in candles, lip balm, wood polish, and dozens of other products you currently buy. One hive gives you more wax than most households know what to do with. On half an acre, 1 to 2 hives is ideal. You get the full pollination benefit, a meaningful honey harvest, and you contribute to the local ecosystem in a way that pays dividends across your entire property. Now, let me show you how these 7 animals work together as a system, because this is where it gets genuinely exciting. Your chickens and quail produce eggs and manure. The manure feeds your garden and your worm bins. Your worm bins produce worms, which feed your chickens, closing the loop. Your ducks handle slug and insect pressure in your garden. Your muscovies handle flies around your goat and rabbit areas. Your rabbits produce meat and direct apply fertilizer for your garden beds. Your goats produce dairy and clear brush. And your bees tie the entire growing system together, boosting yields across everything. This is not a collection of animals. This is a functional ecosystem on half an acre. Every element supports the others. Your feed costs go down as the system matures. Your food production goes up, and your dependence on the outside world shrinks dramatically. A family that builds this system over 2 to 3 years can realistically produce the majority of their eggs, a significant portion of their meat, most of their dairy, and a large percentage of their fruits and vegetables, all from half an acre. Before we started this homestead, our grocery bill was consistently over $1,000 a month. Today, between what we grow and what these animals produce, we've cut that number nearly in half, and the food is better. It's fresher, it's more nutritious, and we know exactly where it came from. That transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with one decision.
It starts with picking the right animals for the space you have, building the right systems, and trusting that small steps compound into something remarkable. You don't need 100 acres. You don't need a massive investment. You need half an acre, a plan, and the willingness to start. So here's what I want you to do. Think about your property right now. Think about what you already have, and pick just one animal from this list, the one that fits your situation best, and commit to starting there. Not all 7 at once, just one. Build from there. If you found this useful, hit subscribe because I release new videos every week on exactly this kind of practical, small space homesteading. And drop a comment below. Tell me which animal on this list surprised you the most. I read every comment, and your question might become the next video. The life you're imagining is closer than you think. The only question is, when do you start?